Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan from the Hyperpigmentation Clinic. I'm the world's only doctor who's also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. So this whole channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of color because majority of the products that have been made were not actually made with skin of color in mind. And the reason why skin of color is a little bit different is because we hyperpigment very easily. We can't afford to inflame our skin because that triggers the melanocytes, those cells that produce the pigment melanin, and we get more pigmentation. So for us, sometimes we need much higher strength actives, especially when it comes to tyrosinase inhibitors, when it comes to other things, but when it comes to irritants, we need to be very careful. So certain acids, we can only wear at a certain percentage. Certain vitamin A's, we can only wear at a certain percentage. So really my whole channel is just to guide you and tell you which products from every brand are great for our skin and are unlikely to cause any issues and which ones I would avoid. The other thing to note is I have very high standards when it comes to skin of color for this reason, because for me, I don't even want 1% of people getting pigmentation from skincare. And so sometimes you might be fine on a product that I've said to avoid. A lot of people will be fine. However, I don't want even 1% of burns. And that's why everything I say is really with us in mind, with our skin of color in mind. So today we are talking about the brand Simple. I've tried to go through as many brands as you have requested. So if you do want more brands, make sure you Instagram me on @skincare by Dr. V or @the Hyperpigmentation Clinic, either one. And I just keep adding them to my to-do list. And my aim is to obviously get through every single request that you give me to make sure I give you everything that you want. So today we are talking about Simple. Let's dive right in. Okay, so what I love about this brand is that they are avoiding denatured alcohol. They don't use fragrance. And they're avoiding essential oils, which are really the worst culprits when it comes to skincare. I honestly, to this day, I don't know why it's in skincare. I think it's mainly just a marketing tactic. You know, when you smell something that smells like strawberry, you think, oh, that's good for my skin, but actually it's not. So it is just a way to sell more product. However, it's not ideal. And I do think it's changing. I think the more we become educated, the more we talk to each other, the more we are actually requesting the brands themselves to make fragrance-free versions. And Simple has done a great job of this. So really, my job today is going to be very simple. Ha 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 ha. Oh God, that was terrible, wasn't it? Okay, so let's talk about the first product, which is Dual Effect Eye Makeup Remover. So again, it's such an easy list. It's such a basic, simple list. Very few ingredients in it. So it starts off with water, number one ingredient. Then it's got cyclopentasiloxane, it's got isohexadecane, it's got benzophenone, which is a sunscreen, it's got butylene glycol, which is a solvent, but it's also very hydrating to the skin. And then it's also got iodopropanol butyl carbamate, which is a preservative, and usually you don't use it at more than 0.1%. And that's how I know everything after that on the list is essentially not even in the therapeutic range. So this includes the BHT, which is your antioxidant, your panthenol, which is your anti-inflammatory, and tocopherol acetate, which is your vitamin E. So they didn't even really need to include those ingredients, to be honest, because you're not really getting much benefit from it. They did jump on the paraben-free train. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about paraben being bad for your skin. I do urge you please to go and watch my video on toxic skincare myths, because paraben is one of the best preservatives for skincare. It causes the least amount of contact dermatitis. And what happened was, once we all jumped on this bandwagon, guess what? The industry also mimicked it to give us what we wanted, and they started using other preservatives, which actually increased the chances of getting contact dermatitis. So I don't know where that myth started, but I do want you to go and watch that video because parabens are literally they're the best preservative. But anyway, that's another topic. On this topic, I actually really like this product. I know a lot of it was below the therapeutic index, but there's no irritants in it. It's good for skin of color, and I would recommend you purchase this product as an eye makeup remover. So for me, that's very rare for me to like products, and when I do, I get so happy that I can actually tell you something that you can buy and will be helpful to you. So it's a yes for me on this one. Okay, moving on to the second product, which is the Moisturizing Facial Wash. So again, the positives: there's no fragrance, no essential oils, there's no drying alcohols, there's no irritants, and I love the ethos of Simple. The fact that the packaging is 100% recyclable. That's basically the best we're going to get right now until we get biodegradable packaging, which right now, we're really far behind on the curve on. This is the next best thing. So I actually really like the brand ethos. Okay, so what is this 100% soap-free business? First of all, what is soap? How does it work? And how can you have a soap-free version? These are all very good questions. So basically, soap is a strong alkali, so such as sodium hydroxide plus fats. And the way it works is it just engulfs the oil dirt on your skin and makes it easy to wash away. So how does a soap-free version work? So it's basically a solution of emulsifiers, and that will again pick up the oil on the skin and wash it away. And it's great for sensitive skin, inflamed skin, any skin that's got dermatitis, etc. You would avoid soap. This is the best way to do it. And actually, when it comes to skin of color, generally, I would say you stick with things that are good for sensitive skin, because we can't afford to have our skin inflamed, because inflammation triggers your melanocytes, which leads to hyperpigmentation, which we definitely want to avoid. So just so that you know the pH of everything, the pH of a soap, for example, is about 8 to 10. So that is very alkali. Our skin is a pH of about 5.5. And really, we don't want to be wearing anything on our skin that has a pH of more than 7. Because what happens is it damages your acid mantle, which is your protective barrier. That's what keeps water in. That's what ensures that your skin is in a healthy condition and constantly restoring itself. So you don't want to strip your skin down with something so harsh. So it's important to know the pHs of things that you're putting on your skin as well. Okay, so let's look at the ingredients. The second ingredient here is sodium lauryl sulfate, which is much more gentle than sodium lauryl sulfate, and people get a bit confused. So that's the good one. And it's also got decyl glucoside in it and cocamidopropylbutane, which are surfactants, which are also gentle for our skin. So it's also got hydrating and anti-inflammatory ingredients in it. So it's got glycerin and bisabolol in it. So I really love this product. I've worn this product a lot. I've purchased this product and used this product for many years. So I would absolutely recommend this one. Buy it. Okay, so let's move on to the Micellar Facial Gel Wash. So I've actually been using this a lot recently. Second ingredient here is cocamidopropylbutane. It's a very gentle surfactant actually. Usually we use this as a secondary surfactant. And so you might find that if you actually wear a lot of actives the night before or use a lot of oil, facial oil, etc. the night before, you might find you actually need a second wash. Because it is quite gentle. Cocamidopropylbutane as ingredient is quite gentle. However, on the plus points, the hydrating ingredients are propylene glycol. It's got panthenol, which is very soothing. It's got glycerin in it. So, first of all, what exactly is micellar water? Is it some magic thing? What is the ingredient that makes micellar water? So, actually, no, it's not a magic thing. Let me explain. Anything that has a surfactant in it can be called micellar water. It's anything that forms micelles, so round balls. So the way it works is the water-loving ends are on the outside where the water is, and on the inside is the oil-loving ends. And what it does, it basically just traps the dirt inside, easier to wash away. That's how a surfactant works. So with micellar water, we usually use non-ionic surfactants, and that means that it doesn't foam, so it feels more like water. And that's why we call it micellar water. So compared to a face wash, for example, which will use, for example, sodium lauryl sulfate, which does foam a lot, it feels different. However, they're both surfactants. Often I will follow up with CosRX face wash if I feel like I've worn a lot of actives the night before, because I don't want to go out in the day with more actives on. So just it's important to look at your own nighttime routine and see what you're doing, and if you need a second wash. I don't want you to do so much that you're stripping the skin. That's also the other thing that you need to be careful of. But you need to do enough that you're taking off the actives from the night before. Okay, moving on to the next ingredient, which is their Simple Soothing Facial Toner. Okay, so it said 100% alcohol free, so of course I got very excited. I thought this is going to be on my top 3 toners. And I've actually made that video for you today, so make sure you head over and watch. This one didn't make the cut. Okay, so here's the ingredients. So it's got hydrogenated starch, hydrosalate in it, and sodium PCA. So these are good moisturizers. So this is positive. It's got allantoin in it, which is an anti-inflammatory, again positive. However, it does contain witch hazel, and I know it's less than 1% because it's very low down on the list. But witch hazel is not great anyway because of the tannins, but also it's distilled in alcohol, and so that can lead to free radicals in the skin, which is actually the thing that we're trying to avoid. That's the whole point of wearing antioxidants, why we go to such great lengths to ensure that we're wearing combined antioxidants. So it's okay, it's not great, it's not my favorite, it didn't make the cut, and I would recommend you go and watch my toner video if you really want some good toners for your skin. Okay, and the last product you asked me to review from Instagram was Vital Vitamin Cream. And I have to say, I like it. Honestly, it's so refreshing to do a video where 90% of the products I love, because if you've watched enough of my videos, you'll see that I struggle. Sorry. But this one I love, so I'm so happy. And it's also important to know that I never accept sponsorship. I never endorse any brands. I'll get paid to endorse any brands because then it gives me the freedom to tell you honestly what's going on with our actives. As it is, Skin of Colour, we really don't have anywhere else to go for education on our skin, and I want to do this for us. I want to do it for our children, especially as our kids grow. I look at my daughter, she's 7 years old now, and her skin is changing, and the skincare routine I give for her is changing. So, you know, I'm not the only mum in the world. You know, we're everywhere, and we want the best for our children too. So that's really why I created this channel for you. So it's important to know that if you don't know it already. I do try and say it in a few of my videos, but you know, sometimes when you've done a whole video and you've loved everything, it's easy to think that it's been sponsored, but no, I actually really like these products. Right, so this one, the moisturizers are glycerin, squalene, it's got cetyl palmitate in it, it's got dimethicone in it, it's got pentalactone in it, it's got pentylene glycol in it. It literally just is a whole host of hydrants and moisturizers. It's got my favorite anti-inflammatory in it, it's got bisabolol in it, it's got no alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. So do you know what it is? They've just got the basics right. You know, often the big brands, they try and get a bit too innovative with what they're doing, but they're getting the basics wrong. First, get the basics right. First, don't irritate the skin. Before you try and add actives, you know, get the base right, where you are improving the skin, where you're restoring the skin. Then add your actives. Then add, you know, your fancy ingredients that will go into the dermis and restore collagen. Yes, 100% do that, but first get this bit right, which unfortunately a lot of them don't. But Simple is doing a good job. So I would say purchase this product if you're looking for a very good moisturizer. Don't forget to download your free guide. The link is down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell and to type in all so that I'm there for 1 hour at the launch of every video and you know when I'm there. Any other brands you want me to review, please do write them down below, or any other comments or just anything. Just write it down below just so I know how you're feeling. Thank you very much.